I'm hearing they can't dim a star that shines so bright. The humiliation rituals that were attempted on your life have no power on you. And it's really because your mind is right. Those things only work if somebody's mind is not right. Then they work. If somebody's mind, is right, they're going to be able to pick up on the signals and they're going to reject it and dismiss it. So you're very dismissive to nonsensical activities. Okay. Hello, I am Mystic Alchemy. Good day, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Milk Honey Rose. Thank you for being here. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is when somebody try to give you a fish in a cup, you'd be like, I don't even eat fish. Like, what are you doing? You see, so that is a representation of the manipulation tactics that people try on you. You don't consume it. You don't accept it. You really only accept into your life what's beneficial for you. If it's not beneficial and it doesn't make sense, if it's not like a healthy choice, you leave it. You leave it to the wayside because it's just not meant for you. It's just someone trying to infiltrate, okay? Infiltrate and penetrate and impregnate you with something toxic so you could birth it and then your whole energy shifts. You notice how it really works when I think about it, because I just said it really quickly because it just came to me. But that's what it is. When people come at you sideways, their goal is to piss you off and make you so mad that you flip your top and you start tripping. Okay? You start tripping and you can't control yourself because you just like lose it, and then you just be loose goosing, right? So at that point, that's the point basically that they want to get you to, because once someone is so irate, you have more control. Well, that's only for a master manipulator, really. Once someone gets to that point of being so irate that they don't even really know what they're doing, they become easier to control. And then the one that's completely irate keeps on trying to prove themselves, when the best thing is to just let the person think what they want to think, because people are horrible. Now, if the person came at you with like a decent argument that you can actually talk to them about, like an adult, without having a screaming match, then that makes sense. However, if you know someone is poking at you, like wanting to poke the bear to see if the bear is going to attack them, that's manipulation, okay? So if they come at you crazy, you already know what it is. They're trying to get a rise out of you because they want to move you. They don't want you to be comfortable. They don't want you to feel good. And you recognize when people are like that. So therefore, once you see the red flags waving, you already deem them as a manipulator. You already deem them as someone who has some type of weakness within because they feel like they have to manipulate people. Anyone that actually has a desire to manipulate people has some trauma that is within them that needs to be like repaired. They have some shadow work to do. They have a perspective that needs to be upgraded because they're moving from a place of like a distorted reality, thinking that that's like popping, like that is popular, like that is the right thing to do in life, when it's really, what is this? It's like a false power that it makes these individuals feel like they're powerful, but it's false. It's not real. Because if you feel like you have to manipulate people to feel good about yourself, there's a lot wrong there. Okay, so this is what you notice now. I feel like you have gone through manipulation or being manipulated by people. You've experienced that before, and you wanted to be free from it when it happened because you know your worth. You know how beautiful you are. You know how much of a gift you are to others because you know yourself, and you know that you want to give the energy that you would like to receive. And therefore, now you know how to energetically fight against those attacks. And that's spiritual warfare, honestly. That's what that is, because these individuals that try to humiliate you, in all actuality, the only ones that are going to jump on the bandwagon with that person are those who are also lost. So how is that a loss for you, really, when you think about it? It's not a loss for you, it's a loss for them, because they're ganging up together as lost souls. And it just so happened that there's more lost souls than those who understand, than those who have a knowing. And that's just the truth of the matter. So it could appear like a humiliation, but it's really, I heard it's really an initiation, because you know better, so you don't feed into it. It's really an initiation. But that's just the beginning, though. It's just the beginning when you recognize humiliation. Well, when you recognize the manipulator's tactics. Okay? And what it's really about is always about the image, someone trying to taint your image, and that is powerful, don't get me wrong. However, it depends on how you react or how you respond, and to respond is better to react, because usually reacting is very quick and you don't think straight when you react. So I feel like you're someone who actually responds well when it comes to someone trying to attack you, and you just respond with honesty. And that's easy, because it's you just telling the truth. Manipulators, they get caught up because they be lying. A lot of the times, people that don't mean well, or that haven't mean well by you, they get caught up because they was lying from the jump. They wasn't real from the jump. Their intentions was not pure from the jump. So they end up having to suffer the consequences, because they come for you and you weren't even in that frequency to be trying to match that or combat that, because it's not worth it. You just say what you feel needs to be said to rectify your space, your place, your perspective, I guess I should say. And it just doesn't work on you. And this is I heard the proof. You are the proof. You are the proof that they're not as crafty. They're not as crafty. They're not as stealthy as they thought. Something about you had times where multiple people worked against you. Could have been family. Could have been people that you really trusted in. Trying to offer you things, but it really wasn't good to receive. And I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but don't accept gifts from someone who is not for you, because people could place their not even could, but their energy is on what they give you. And if they dislike you, then their energy kind of like sticks onto you. And it almost feels like a monitoring spirit energy. It almost feels like, that's what that feels like to me. Like somebody giving you something to make it seem like they're for you. However, they're really not. So you must be careful who you accept gifts from. And it's a crazy thing for some people that never heard this before. However, don't just take things from anybody. Spiritually, it's not smart. It's making me think about something. That movie The Conjuring, and how that was a true story. And there's a place, I forget where it is, but it's like a place where all of these relics or artifacts, I guess I could call it, items, they have a bunch of items in a room that horrible things happened, and those things were at the scene or on the scene. And then that whole Annabelle situation with that doll having evil energy in it, you see how that's an item, but it does hold the energy. And that's what I'm talking about. It's just, you could do research if you could stomach it, because some people can't. Sometimes that's too much for some people. However, the items hold energy. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And when you receive from someone who dislikes you, you could be receiving like a bad omen. Like, just be careful with what you receive and what you bring in your home. And there's also some things in your home right now that you received from some people that didn't mean you well. Let it go. Trash it. If they wasn't treating you right and you still have that item, I don't know, let it go. Just throw it in the trash. It's not even worthy to give it to someone else. Okay, that's just a message for someone out there. However, the moral of this story is that you're too sharp now. You're so intelligent at this point in time, and you've gone through so much when it comes to people trying to or they actually did humiliate you in the past, you know better now than to actually allow that energy to influence you, because you already know what they're doing, and you know that they're really weak. That's a really weak person for them to want to do that on purpose. You could tell someone's strength when they're willing to speak to someone face to face, and it's just them. When they feel like they have to do that in front of people and be all like, I just feel like that shows a sign of weakness. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not the best perspective, but that's just how I feel. I just feel like when something is wrong, you go directly to the person. You don't need other people to be all up in it and listening for like the hype. What's that about? Is get the point across and be done. That's just how I feel. So that's why these things don't work on you. You're just too sharp now, and you love yourself so much, and your light is so bright that it can't be dimmed. It can't, because God placed that light on you, so who could take it away? You know what I mean? So that is it for this message. You are a very beautiful soul, and you really light up. You're meant to light up not only the light of your life, it illuminates very beautifully. However, that illumination also reaches others. And that's what makes you so beautiful and so powerful. You're powerful because you're able to also help others to see their own light. And that's someone who is a true leader. That's someone who is a true earth angel. Someone who is not only worried about themselves, they actually think about their brother and sister on earth. That's love. That's real. That's true love. When you have that mindset, because all the rest of the love, because I feel like there's different levels to love, because there could be love for the family, love for, your home, love for your environment, love for people in general. But there's different levels to it, right? Love for art, love for your hobby. There's so many things to love and so many perspectives of love. The thing is that it starts with you. So if you have a lot of love and you don't mind giving it, it comes back to you and it grows, it expands. And it's like a light, in a dark room. You turn a light on, the room gets brighter. The brighter the light, the more darkness is consumed by the light. And then eventually you don't see no dark no more. And there goes to show how the light is more powerful than the darkness. And there goes to show that the light dominates the darkness. It's viewed the other way around, but that's not necessarily correct. It really depends on your faith, your spiritual ranking to understand, and your ability to just have that deep knowing that love does conquer all. It's just been manipulated, so it's very confused right now. For many, but it's not meant to be confused. Just think about the light analogy that I just gave you. If there's a dark room, the dark does not consume the light. Once the light is on, you're going to see the light. You understand? So that's what you are. You are the light in the darkness. And that's power. That's electrifying. That's electricity. That's energy. Okay? So you have your spirit family with you, and they use you as a vessel because they can speak their message through you. They can connect with you to help others. So when it comes to spirit, and when it comes to like Orishas, and when it comes to the gods that are in the eternal, we work with them. We don't worship them. We work with them. We're a team. We are family. When you look at our spirit family in such a way, you recognize that, okay, like the power that people see within you that people tend to, well, not everybody, but some tend to be jealous of and they dislike. They don't just see you. They think they're just looking at you, but they also see the power of your ancestors that support you because they work through you. It's just in you. The power is within, and it's really the power of love. That's really what it is. However, other people misinterpret it, and then you have so many people fighting so hard for power. But then if they get the power, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to try to squash people and crumble them and roll them up and throw them under a bus? Like, what you trying to do with it? That's what I always ask when it comes to something that's very beneficial and influential. Because once you have money and power, you could do a lot. But then when you have it, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to crush people's soul? Or are you trying to ascend souls? Like, what are you trying to do here? It's either where you at. You on the dark side or you on the light. And if you choose to be on the dark side and you don't know how to incorporate the darkness within the light, then you're basically just walking around soulless at that point. But that's a whole nother other message. So yes, that is it for this message, and this is just a quick synopsis of why the humiliation rituals won't work on you, because you have too much spiritual protection in the ethers. Your spirit team is with you. They work through you, and that's why you're just as bright as you are. And those who appreciate your light, those are the ones that you want to focus on. Those who despise your light, they're not worthy of your energy, your time, or anything like that, because they don't mean you well. Their intentions are bad. And unfortunately, they're stuck in oblivion, really. That's like a wormhole. It reminds me of just like a black hole. Have you ever seen those holes that are like in the middle of the ocean, and they're like whirlpools, and they just go to only God knows where? Like, they just swirling, and whatever goes in there is gone. I feel like that is the energy of the lost souls that choose not to be found. Like, they don't want to be found. They just choose to be in that energy, and it could just be their karmic cycle in this lifetime that they must go through to pay from something that they did last lifetime. You never know what's going on with a person. But yeah, so that's it for this message. The power is within, and the power truly comes from love. It's not from hate. It's not from malice. So keep that in mind. It's just that those who envy you, they don't recognize that, unfortunately. So anyway, that's it for this message. Everything you do, do it with love. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're feeling the vibe and if this message resonated with you. And if you would like to book a reading or a healthy conversation or purchase any of my books from me, visit www.milkhoneyrose.org. You can also join the membership here on YouTube. There's 2 tiers. One is, I think, $9.99. The other one is $3.99. And that's just to support me, because, I'm here for you guys to give you messages to help you see the best of what we have to work with and understand how to navigate what's unfavorable so that you can live a healthy, wealthy, abundant life, and I mean, like, abundant in the spirit and the soul, because that goes a long way. It goes so far. Because once your spirit, your soul, and your psyche is right, all the other goodness that's available to you when it comes to your spiritual blessings and gifts, they magnetize to you and they just start coming. And you don't even have to try. Just, you ask and they're like, I'm here. You just have to believe, though. Okay? I love you. See you in the next one.